Can anyone remind me what it feels like to score a goal? For the second time in this calendar year, Chelsea's goal of the month is going to feature one goal. One goal, guys. Anyways, Chelsea played host to Brighton and lose 2-0. Let's get into it.
And blue is the colour.
Greetings! Welcome back to Couch Critic with me, Dennis P, for what is your Chelsea match review, but more specifically, a tactical synopsis, or lack thereof, of Chelsea's performance against Brighton. But before we get into all that, friends, foes, you know what we need you to do. It's very simple. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button to keep up with the latest and the newest. As you know, we are trying to grow this channel, and every like goes a long way to ensuring that we do just that. It will help me, and it will help my sponsors who go by the name of Major League Socks. And fellas, if you ever want to walk in the footsteps of greatness, you know what to do, hit them up. The link will be in the description. Now fellas, I am just as frustrated as the next Chelsea fan, probably even more so than some. This has been a tumultuous season that has not yielded any joy whatsoever. Any joy whatsoever. Everything that has happened on the pitch, off the pitches, have been a complete eyesore, but I mean, what else is there to do but to show patience? There's absolutely nothing we can do but be patient with the squad, patient with the club, patient with the playing staff, patient with the directors. There's nothing else we can do. It's like when you're in a car accident and you're complaining about the fact that your car is wrecked. What's the next action? What do you need to do? That's where we need to be now. Those are the questions we need to be asking ourselves. What do we need to do to move forward? You know, can we address the situation now and make it better for the future? Those are the questions I want answered. I don't want to be talking about what happened in the last summer and in the transfer window and, you know, Thomas Tuchel getting sacked. That's all done. Water under the bridge, for lack of a better term, no pun intended. Like, that's stuff that we need to leave in the past now and look to the future of this club. What else is there to do? There's absolutely nothing else we can do as supporters. Like, truly, I'm just more focused on the future and what decisions are being made to take us into the next chapter of Chelsea Football Club. You know, I know I said it on the last video, and I think that I need to reiterate the fact that this club has been ripped to shreds. You know, I'm not saying that Boehly and Eghbali have right in the decisions that they've made to sack the entire board, to sack all the directors, to sack the manager, to bring in about 8 or 9 different players. You know, all of that stuff, all of that upheaval has shown that it was probably the wrong decision when you consider, you know, keeping the structure of the club intact before, you know, you start making wholesale changes everywhere. But, you know, what's done is done. You know, the next question I have right now is, what are we doing to address the obvious problems that we have right now? I mean, all of the frustration that we see on Twitter, in the terraces, you know, social media, anywhere right now between the Chelsea supporters comes down to one thing. This has just been a completely unenjoyable season. You know, we don't even score goals. Like, how is it that we've spent so much money on attackers and we still cannot find a way to score goals? And it just goes to show you that everything that we see in football right now is not down to individual talent, because I do believe that we have it. We have a lot of individually talented players, gifted athletes. But what it comes down to is the fact that we do not have a structure, we do not have a system in place right now that allows for these players, these talented players, to flourish. Like, we just keep throwing more names at it and expecting things to change, and it just doesn't. There's no structure at this club right now. And whether you look to Thomas Tuchel, who was sacked in September, it was the same problem then. He said back then, that the reasons why we're not seeing any changes in the style of play is because we have the same players. You know, and under Graham Potter, we had a bunch of players come in, change this, change that, and the same results. That's why I don't get all upset about when I see the lineup anymore. I'm just over that now. Like, I understand that doesn't matter what lineup you put together right now, you're going to get the exact same results. It doesn't matter to me who you put together. We've seen Havertz, we've seen Sterling, we've seen Pulisic, we've seen Felix, we've seen Madueke, we've seen Mudryk, we've seen everyone. We've even seen Fofana, who's not seen very much, but we've seen him. And nothing has changed. The results are exactly the same. This team just is not constructed to score goals and has not put together a system that is conducive to scoring goals. Today under Frank Lampard, God bless him, man. He's putting a lot of pressure in that final third, with that 5-3-2 system that he played again. And, that's needs must. I think that Chelsea played better in a back three system, but again, it's of no value when you don't have a system that's conducive to scoring goals. And that's what we have right now. We just have a bunch of players that are comfortable in the shape but do not know how to create goal-scoring opportunities, do not know how to finish goal-scoring opportunities. And it's beyond frustrating right now. I'm beyond frustrated. I'm at the point where I don't care who's on the pitch anymore. It's more about whether or not we can see, the individual brilliance come to the fore now, because as far as getting a structure and a system in place, it's irrelevant. Like, Frank Lampard was not brought in here to establish some sort of a structure for this club to play at, right? He's basically just here to caretake, get us through to the summer when we get our new manager in. And, by all intents and purposes, it looked like that manager is going to be Mauricio Pochettino. And I must be real with you guys right now. I'm not excited about that either. I feel like we're setting ourselves up for another year of just being in the mire, in the mud, and not, finding a way out of it. Like, not to say that Pochettino's a bad manager, but I'm talking about, the playing staff that we've assembled right now. Is this a playing staff that he wants to work with? Can he assemble, a cohesive playing squad based on the pieces that we have right now? And if he doesn't hit the ground running, I'm talking about, September, October, November. If we stutter out of the gates again, what's going to happen in the terraces? Like, for me, we're just building the breeding ground for more frustration in the terraces, for more frustration in and around the club by bringing the iconic Spurs manager to lead this new regime of Chelsea players. Like, even just the optics of the whole idea just makes absolutely no sense to me. There are a ton of managers out there right now. Why are you bringing in a manager that just divides opinions, that leaves you with so much to worry about if things go pear-shaped? I mean, for me right now, it's Chelsea by name only, not by identity. Like, there's nothing that I can identify with this club right now. And you could probably make the argument that was the case for, maybe a couple of years now, even under Thomas Tuchel, who gave us a bit of an identity in that Champions League run. But ever since then, like, this club has been very hard to identify with, beyond just the playing staff, beyond just the fact that we don't score goals, beyond the fact that, like, our incomplete structure has been ripped out from underneath us. I just don't know what we are as Chelsea anymore. I don't know. And if anyone can tell me, please just leave it in the comments, because it's very hard to define. And then now you're bringing in the iconic Spurs manager to lead this, lead us out of the rubble. It just reeks of stink, guys. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm not excited about it. But at the same time, I have no choice but to just sit here and watch it and hope that whatever I'm saying right now is the complete opposite of what we see in the next coming months under this Chelsea team. Right now, the way I feel, I'm feeling less connected to this club. There's nothing that's connecting me to this club like once did before. The iconic names, the people that would fight, tooth and nail to see us win. The never say die attitude. All of these things were originally attracted me to Chelsea. All of these things have just been completely ripped out of the club right now. We're starting all over again. And I understand that there's a time and patience that comes with building something anew. And I'm willing to give it time, but you have to give me something that I can connect with. And I'm sorry, Mauricio Pochettino is not that. I'm sorry, but like, everything that we've done since the summer till now has only put a wedge between the supporters and the club and the playing staff and everything else. We just look so disjointed. It just looks like a scattergun approach to building a squad, to building a staff, to building a club back. And I'm in it for the long haul, of course, but I need to see, you have to give me something that makes me feel like we're moving in the right direction. Every move that we've made since the summer has looking like we're just taking step backward, and there's nothing that really feels like it's solidified. In the interim, man, this has just got to change. Like, we cannot be going into games, week after week and not having an idea of how to score goals. Like, where is the pride? I know Frank Lampard talked about it in his presser today. The pride is still there in the club. Where? Can you tell me where? That's not the pride that I know from Chelsea. That's not the pride that I expect to see from a Chelsea side. The pride of London. Getting battered and bruised by Brentford. Battered up by Fulham. Like, the pride of London? Are you kidding me? We are an eyesore right now. And I don't want to hear the word pride when I see what's on the pitch right now. no dedication. I promised myself I wasn't going to be really focusing on the game itself today because there was just nothing that I could really sink my teeth into tactically. You know, Kovacic saw a lot of the ball today and just did nothing with it. Like, does he even want to be here anymore? Like, that's the question you need to ask, because everything just points to no. You know, anyone not named N'Golo Kante just does not show the level of compete and fight that is, you know, necessary to win games in the Premier League. And it's a far, far cry from the Chelsea that we've known and grown accustomed to. And when you speak of pride and you see that, that's almost like an insult to me, to tell me that that's a prideful club right now. You know, guys are full of pride. We saw guys come onto the pitch right today and didn't even look like they had played football before, didn't even look interested in like fighting for the badge, fighting for the supporters and the terraces. And they were rightfully booed, you know, rightfully booed at halftime and rightfully booed off the pitch again at full time. And this is about redefining what it means to be Chelsea. I know that we can't really rely on what we've been in the past, but we have to redefine what that means. And the very bare minimum is we have to show some fight. And I'm just not seeing enough of that right now. None of it. You know, that's the baseline fundamentals of any football club in the Premier League. You have to show fight. And we just continue to spiral downward and downward without having the backbone, you know, the commitment. And, you know, this goes beyond the ownership, right? Like, they're just as frustrated as we are. They spent a lot of money to assemble this squad. You know, they made some errors on the way. That is undeniable. But you cannot tell me they're not frustrated with the fact that they bought so many talented footballers and have yet to see it come together on the football pitch. That is a frustrating thing. So, as much as they have a lot to learn about ownership in the Premier League and they have a lot to learn about what it means to be Chelsea, that aside, you know, they have to put their hands up and say, listen, we've made some mistakes. You know, we've made some big mistakes and, you know, atone for them. You know, that starts now. But before this goes on to any more of a rant, I just got to end it right there. Guys, I'm just as disappointed as you are, believe me. There is things that are happening at this club. The entire structure is being revolutionized. And there's just so much uncertainty. We don't know what's going to come from this. You know, and this uncertainty breeds unhappiness, discomfort, and displeasure. And it's being expressed in the terraces, online, everywhere. You know, nobody knows the direction of this football club anymore. And to make things even worse, you know, this rudderless squad, this rudderless club are now looking to bring in a rivals manager, you know, Mauricio Pochettino. And, you know, I have no problem. You know, I'm neither here nor there. I'm neither yes nor no. But I know that if I know Chelsea supporters as well as I think I do, if things go pear-shaped at the beginning of the season, I'm talking 2-3 losses, we are going to hear it. And that is the reason why I'm not in support of this hire, because I feel like it's just going to lead to more discomfort. It's going to be leading to more, you know, polarization of the fan base and whatnot. And, you know, we're not going to be able to fight as one. You know, we're going to have a faction that's about this, a faction that's about that, very similar to how it is right now, but only more toxic. So that's where I stand on that. But, you know, as I said before, I'm very willing to just sit back and have them prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You know, Boehly, Eghbali, directors and whatnot. Prove me wrong. Tell me now that what I'm saying right now is the complete opposite of where we're going, and show me it, more importantly. But yeah, again, another disappointing loss to Brentford this time. We can't even hold down our ends, guys. Like, what's going on here? You know, Fulham's battering us. Brentford, you know, Crystal Palace. Fortunately, we got a result there, but, you know, nothing's coming easy. And, you know, we just need 1 point. That's all I'm asking for from Frank. You know, I know he's bitten off a little bit more than he can chew right now, but we just need 1 point. Just get us over the line to say that we've guaranteed safety. I know it's not really that much in jeopardy, but I just need to know that we can manage that. You know, do we have to wait for other squads to fall out before we can secure ourselves? It shouldn't be that way, not at Chelsea, you know, but here we are. Guys, I'm hoping that we can get out of this mud, but until then, keep the blue flag flying high and up the Chels. Peace.